Welcome to Focus on Crestview. I'm Karen Hardell, this year's president of the Crestview Area Chamber of Commerce and owner of a Better Ledger company. Our guest this month is Tim Kelly, who is CEO of Cast Data and Mailing Systems and Director of Marketing, Georgie Kelly. Welcome, and thank y'all for being here.
Good morning,
Thank you.
I have a bit of an advantage of some of our audience because I know a little bit about what you do, but I'm sure that a lot of them out there are wondering, what does Cast Data and Mailing Services do? So what can you tell us about that?
Cast Data, I always tease people, is the biggest company no one's ever heard of.
Right.
Because a lot of what we do is kind of behind the scenes. We do a lot of direct mailing and we do a lot of targeted billing. We work with everything from big utility companies to government agencies, hospitals, colleges, and we're starting to work more with individual businesses. So what we do is you might get your property tax statement from us or your vehicle registration renewal or all kind of different things like that. So you've probably had contact with us even if you didn't realize that you had.
I wanted to make sure everybody knows that when they get their water bill that it may have come from you, but you're not responsible for the amount on there, right?
That's right.
So no phone calls about the amount of your water bill, please.
We don't determine your taxes, we just mail your bills out, yes.
That's right. So it's quite a service that you offer. There's several of the counties in Florida, right, use you to do their trim notices.
75% of the counties.
Wow, 75% of the counties in Florida.
We've been doing this mostly vehicle registration renewals beginning in the early 80s, and we also do tax bills as well.
And some jury summonses as well.
Okay, well, people just love hearing from you then.
Oh, yes.
Actually, though, I'm sure you save the taxpayers quite a bit of money by being able to offer that service.
Think about what it would cost not only for space requirements, but all the different machinery, the copiers, the inserters. The inserters we have are huge. They fill up a whole room, just 2 of them. So having all of that, then the leases on them, the maintenance, the extra personnel they'd have to hire, all the benefits, it saves a ton of money for them to just let us do what we do rather than have to pay for all of those extra services. So yeah, we're actually helping the taxpayers considerably.
Well, I appreciate that as a taxpayer.
I do too.
I can imagine what it would cost to have that facility alone and then have the staff to do that. So that's terrific. And Cast Data has been around for how long?
We started in the mid-'80s, and we've been around mostly to start with the government agencies, government bids, where we do the reoccurring monthly billings. But we've, the last several years, we've steered it more towards local businesses, developing that area.
All right, so you can actually, you're not just targeting government agencies, but also local businesses.
Yes,
okay, all right. So we'll hear more about that in a little while. But so the business has been around since the 80s,
yes,
and it's located actually in Fort Walton Beach, right? It's right there on Eglin Parkway.
On Eglin Parkway, just south of Uptown Station.
But you both live in Crestview.
Yes, we do.
We have several of our employees live in Crestview.
How many employees do you have currently?
I have 10 employees, and 4 of them are in the Crestview area.
And I know that you have some long-time employees that have worked there a long time.
Yes,
16, 17 years, some of them, yes. Been there a long time.
Wow. So it's great to hear about local businesses that are successful and employ local families here and have such a contribution to the community. And we talked a little bit before the show about contribution to the community, and you had some examples of things that you do. So you go ahead and talk about that.
Just point this out. As I said, we do monthly recurring billings, and this is one of the things that we do for the community. We're mailing over 1 million of these this year, and basically when the bill goes in, we insert this into it. But it's Lawrence Kids, and it's for abused kids, and it's basically an informational brochure that goes in at no cost from us for it.
We also do one for the Heart Association, and we did something really fun this year. Right here, we did the programs complimentary. Crestview has a brand new community theater.
That's right.
And so
it was nice.
It was wonderful. Excuse me, their first play was wonderful. So we decided to try to help them get off the ground, and we did complimentary programs for them. We also did their playbills.
Well, I certainly appreciate that because I went to the first show and I enjoyed that so much.
Wasn't it good?
A lot of our members are deeply involved in that.
I'm excited about
it.
It
Is
very
exciting.
excited about it.
There's a lot of exciting things going on in Crestview, and it's you know, I think we're very lucky to be involved at this time.
Yes.
So
I think it's a big advantage to our town to have that. I really do.
it is. So the monthly billing, so that, for example, Lawrence Kids, is that going in with tax collector bill, or?
We have 44 counties that we do vehicle registration renewals. So your car registrations, the bill that you get on your birth date, we mail those out for 3/4 of counties in Florida, and this is going in a good percentage of those.
Okay. But if if a business wanted to send something out in one of those, they would go through the tax collector or the department? Who would they go to?
It's a little more restrictive on that amount,
Okay.
but it just kind of shows what we can do. If you have a local business that you're already doing mailings, you might consider we can print the brochure for you or print the insert. We can also do the billings for you and then do the inserting as well.
Okay.
And the best part is you don't even have to live anywhere near here. Because you send us everything by email. We can do electronic data, we do electronic billing, or we can do the mail billing, either one you want us to do. You send it to us, we take care of putting everything together, insert it, print it if you need it, send it out where it goes, and takes care of it. And
your fee includes the postage and everything, so
yes.
it's really just a full service. All I have to do is have the idea and know what I want.
That's right.
We work with the customer and we start developing the outside envelope, and most of them have an idea of what they want. Also the return envelope and any of the graphics involved in it, we can do all of that.
Okay.
A lot of the governmental stuff is pretty straightforward, but we can get very creative too, and we do some advertising where we can do anything that you have in mind. If you want a map on there, if you want pictures, if you want us to come up with a concept for you, we can do that as well. We have graphic designers on site.
Wow, that's tremendous, a tremendous service. And well, I think we're going to take a break now, and when we come back, I want to hear more about that. I want to hear more about how local businesses can use your services.
When this hospital system needs to manage the care and information of nearly 1 million patients, Cox Business is there. When experts a world apart are needed in one place, we're there. And when visits need to happen well after visiting hours, we're there too. With a $16 billion network, Cox Business powers healthcare. We're there for your business too.
Packers. Vikings. Packers. Vikings. Packers.
Vikings. Red state. Blue state. Vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities, our families,
united.
Even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
In only 30 minutes a week, you can make a big impact on a child in Okaloosa County. The Okaloosa School District is recruiting mentors at all academic levels throughout the county. Studies show that students who are mentored develop self-confidence, make better grades, and improve their relationships with adults and peers. To learn more about the mentoring program or to sign up, visit okaloosaschools.com and click on the Become a Mentor link. You can make an immediate impact on a child and the community by becoming a mentor today.
Welcome back to Focus on Crestview. I'm Karen Hardell, this year's president of the Crestview Area Chamber of Commerce and owner of A Better Ledger Company. And our guest this month is Cast Data and Mailing Services. I have with me Tim and Georgie Kelly. And Tim is CEO of Cast Data, and Georgie is since September the Director of Marketing. So I guess I have you to thank for us being here this morning and for becoming a chamber member and sponsoring the breakfast.
Yeah, I used to belong to the chamber many, many years ago and was on the board, and I know a lot about it and enjoyed it. Got a ton of business for being a chamber member. And so when I came on board as marketing director, one of the first things I did is look to see which chambers we belonged to, and Crestview wasn't on the list at the time. I guess they figured it was too far away. It wasn't a market that really pertained to us. So I said, no, we're going to join Crestview's chamber as well. And we did, and I asked about it, sponsoring a breakfast, and they said, we've got a long waiting list. The very first meeting that I went to, they said, well, January's breakfast is available, so I grabbed it and said, yes, we want it. I know the benefits of being a chamber member, and they're huge. So I said, we've got to get involved with that. And so I'm enjoying it very much. I'm already on the Military Affairs Committee and busy with it, meeting a lot of new people. Great way to let people know about us, because most people don't know what we do. And so I figure the more that I can get involved, put a face on it, and let people know, the better off it will be for Cast Data.
Absolutely. You know, you said the right thing, and I'm sure, Tim, you can agree with this. if you join, that's terrific. But if you really want to get your bang for your buck, as they like to say, you got to get involved. You've got to get your face out there and get your message out there. Let people know what you can do for them. And the best way to do that is just by being present and shaking hands.
I've heard so many people say, "Oh, well, you know, I thought about joining the chamber, but what's it going to do for me?" Well, just joining the chamber is going to get your name out there somewhat, but if you don't get involved, you know, my question is always, what did you do? What did you put into it?
Exactly.
It's like anything else, you know, you have to put the time in. But if you do, there's no better way that I know of to meet people and let people, because people do business with people they know.
That's absolutely
they really do.
true.
So, you know, I found we used to own a real estate company. Our business was phenomenal within just like a year of joining, because people would actually come in and look for me because they had seen me there, and, you know, well, we need so and so, or, you know, we have the hospital people came in at one point. So we have doctors coming in, and, you know, we would like to know, can we get you to work with them? And I'm like, yeah, I think so. So I'm looking forward to the same thing happening with CAS, getting the word out so that we can help people with their marketing and the different things that they need.
Absolutely. And, you know, this show, being a breakfast sponsor, this show is going to go out not just to our members, but the whole community will be able to watch it, both on Cox Channel 6 and on the internet. It'll be on YouTube, it'll be on our website, so people will be able to find out what you can do for them. And then you're going to sponsor breakfast, and you'll have the opportunity there to let everybody know what you do. And
that's going to be fun.
I'm just going for breakfast.
You're just going for breakfast. It is a very good breakfast.
It is. And it's a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it because we've got some things, surprises and stuff, and our table decorations and stuff. We've been having fun getting together, so I'm looking forward to it.
Now, were you surprised at how many people were at breakfast when you came?
A lot more than it used to be.
Yes.
I know we've outgrown a couple of different places, so yeah, I've been really impressed with what it's doing.
So we have over 200, sometimes 300 people.
The membership has doubled or tripled since we first joined the Crestview Chamber.
Yes, we have over 600 members of the Crestview Chamber.
Yeah, back in the early 90s when we first joined, it was a struggle. If we got 100, it was a big day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Big day. So.
I can remember that when we used to meet at the Western Sizzlin' and we would count
exactly.
off, right? I remember the day we hit 99. That was a huge deal.
Oh yeah, we were begging one more person to come in. I remember, break that 100.
So it's a great opportunity to reach a lot of people, and I know that you're aware of that, and you're going to be involved, and I'm excited about that because we can always use people who are willing to help. And that's how you really get to know people. You work alongside with them, trying to get some project done or some event. And,
sure.
Well, one of the best things about Crestview too is there's such a small town feel to it. It's not a tiny little town like it was when we grew up there. There's a lot of things available, a lot of things that you could do, tons of services, but it's still got that small town feel. And the way that you do that is by connecting with people and getting to know them. And so I know I met a lot of people through the chamber and have done business with them for years and years and years since. So I've been very excited about CAS becoming part of that.
Well, I'm excited too, and one of the reasons why we want to make sure we get on this show and have the breakfast is to let people know. I've been familiar with CAS data for a number of years, and so but I think of you as the trim notices and the water bills and that kind of thing. But we want to talk about what can you do for the average chamber member? What can you do for businesses out there? And schools and nonprofit organizations and that kind of thing who want to get their message out there. So tell me a little bit about the direct mail services that you offer.
Why don't you cover that, Georgia?
We do some things for schools, and like we've done several things with Northwest Florida State College. We mail out their Broadway series pamphlets, things like that. But really what I want to target is what we call Every Door Direct Mail. It's a U.S. Postal Service program. It's been around for a little while.
Every Door Direct Mail?
Every Door Direct Mail.
Okay.
We call it EDDM for short.
Okay.
The nice thing about that is you get to target exactly who you want to advertise to. And having owned a business ourselves before and doing the advertising, I know what it costs. And right now with the economy like it is, you need to advertise probably more than you ever have before, but most of us don't have the money and the budget to be able to do that. So the nice thing about this is, well, for example, here's one we did for McCurley's Pest Control in Crestview. Okay. And he was able to pick exactly where he wanted. He wanted John King Road. He wanted to market that particular area. Okay. So we took I want to market John King Road. And I came up with the design, worked it out. We've got a coupon on there. We've got a little bit of everything, all of his contact information. You get both sides, so it's kind of catchy here. You can design it any way you want. And pick which rural route that you want it to go to, or which carrier route. So he said, this is the one I want. It's 14.5 cents postage per card, plus the cost of creating it, mailing it, or not mailing it, but producing it. So for 40 cents a card, he can send these out.
Front and back.
Front and back.
Wow.
That includes postage. Now, if
is there a minimum size order?
It has
It
to
depends
go,
on the route. Go ahead.
It has to go the size of the courier route.
Okay.
So
You have to
if
do
you
the
have
whole
a
route.
particular one, say behind Publix or behind Winn-Dixie or a
Or maybe you
particular
want to do
spot,
part of Country View or something.
the Postal Service has its courier routes, and it has to be at least one courier route.
Okay.
So instead of putting an ad, say, in the paper, which is how most of us used to do that, you'd spend an enormous amount of money because they're not cheap, and whoever happens to see it happens to see it. Whereas with this, it goes into every single mailbox on that route. So you're guaranteed you're going to get it in their hands and they're going to see it.
That's right, and you don't have the, I mean, you can buy a mailing list, but what you're talking about, every door direct mail, you don't have to buy the mailing list. It's going to go
That's
to
correct.
every.
And you can address it to residents, or you can address it to, or you have to include businesses. You can leave businesses off and just do residents if you want to.
You can't do just business, but you can do either the businesses and residences, or just the residences.
Okay.
So what we suggest is that, you know, anybody that's brand new into business especially, that's one of the cheapest ways I know of to advertise, because for $300-400, you can do what would possibly cost you $1,000 to do with other media.
And you know, I'm being in the accounting business, I'm big on tracking and measuring
Yes.
things, and so you could put a code on there, you could put a special
can.
discount on there, and know
You sure can.
exactly whether it's going to pay for itself or not. And I'm assuming if you did one route at a time, and if you didn't get the success you wanted to, you could tweak it, or you could
Try
test
another one.
different.
Yeah.
We have several clients that do that. They want a mass mail out, but they prefer to do a few routes at one time to see what the response is for that, and it keeps the costs down. And pretty soon you can narrow down which areas are the most effective for the type of client that you
And exactly what offer works the best.
want. Yeah, and they can also put a coupon on it. Anywhere on it, we can put a coupon, and it will have somebody bring that coupon in and get a discount, you know, for it, so you know exactly, hey, that person got my direct mail.
That's right. And you having the marketing experience, I'm sure you'd be able to advise people on, you know, certain things that, because a lot of people go into business and they're not necessarily marketers. So
That's absolutely right. A lot of them have never done it. And truthfully, do you want to spend your time doing what you do for a business, or do you want to spend it trying to create an ad when you're not an advertiser?
That's absolutely true. So we have, you have some examples there of some businesses that have done this.
One of the barbershops was interesting. Our production manager was getting his hair cut, and he was telling the guy about it, and he said, well, you know, that sounds interesting. What he did is he went to his next door neighbor, who is a barbecue place, and they did one side, he did the other side, and they split the cost in half.
All right.
So it came out even cheaper for the two of them. We've got an insurance company here that we did.
So you have different sizes that people can do, and
We
I
can
like
do
that
different
large
sizes.
size. That's
This is our usual size that we do. Now we can go smaller if you want to, but normally this is probably the size that most people would have. This is one of my personal favorites.
well, that gets your attention.
Oh, it did. It did. We got a lot of comments about this one. This one was for mammogram services. So yeah, that definitely got your attention. It's not an envelope that you're going to say junk mail and throw away. You're going to see it, say, oh, what's that? And probably at least take a look at it, because it's full color, which doesn't cost you any more than the black and white envelope would. You
So
know.
how does someone get started? How, if I want to do this for my business, what do I need to do?
You can email us at castdata.com.
Okay.
My email address is gkelly, for Georgie Kelly, at castdata.com. Let us know. Give us a call. We will sit down with you if you want us to. You can come to our office. We'll sketch it out. If you know what you want, some people have it full color, ready to go, art, you know, camera ready. That's great. That's fine. If you want us to take it from just your hazy little idea and try to help you come up with what you want, we can do that too. We'll give you a proof, make sure it's exactly like you want it. We'll deliver it to the post office for you. Make sure it goes out. We do everything from start to finish on it.
And can you give recommendations as far as what routes somebody might want, and so you know
We
something
can.
about what the different routes are if they're not familiar necessarily?
We'll
we have
walk
a
you
lot
through
of new people on Crestview.
We'll walk you through the whole process. We can bring up the map, let you look at it. Some people want to go right around where their business is. Others say, okay, I have the north end of town. I want to branch out into the south end or something like that. So we can go in the areas where you don't have a presence yet and start working specifically on those customers. So yeah, either way you need it, we can individualize it for your business.
Well, terrific. And Tim and Georgie, I want to thank you so much for being here with
You're
us
welcome.
and for sharing this information. And I want to encourage our members and members of the audience out there, if you have a direct mail need, that Cast Data and Mailing Services offers a tremendous service.
We'll help you.
And I don't want to bombard you with a bunch of nonprofits that want free services, but that is also an opportunity if
Possibility.
for example, if I wanted to do a mail and then include a nonprofit message on the back of it, I could do something
Sure.
like that.
Sure,
So,
absolutely.
There's just an unlimited
you
number
want.
of opportunities for people to
I
get
might
their
add that we've got
message
an excellent programmer that that can take it and tailor it. If you have specific things that you'd like to channel to, like say if you're a realtor, for instance, and you have a particular ad, you want to go to one subdivision or a condo unit. Crestview doesn't have very many condos, but if you have a specific subdivision you want to tailor to, we can make the data variable so that if it's this subdivision, this picture pops up. If it's that one, a different picture pops up.
Wow.
We've even done campaign ads. We did a lot of the stuff for the elections for direct mail.
Oh,
so
we've
there's
got
a
some
lot of
municipal
ways-
elections coming up, so
Yeah.
if there's anyone out there listening that's still running.
Candidates, we're ready for you. There's a lot of stuff that we can do. If you can imagine it, we can probably do it.
Okay. Well,
Thank you,
that's
Karen.
terrific. Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
so much. And you've been watching Focus on Crestview, produced by Cox Communications and presented by Crestview Area Chamber of Commerce. And when we come back, we'll hear about what's been going on and what's coming up with the Crestview Area Chamber.
At Cox Media, we are committed to creating local demand for your business through the most engaging advertising solutions available. Utilizing Cox Media's promotional, research, and production services, we'll develop a customized marketing plan that fits your budget, giving you a clear snapshot of who your customers are and how to reach them. Contact us today and start capturing the attention of your customers wherever they live, work, shop, and play. Cox Media, your customers delivered.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts. Stop the wrecks. Visit us at stoptextstoprex.org.
Welcome back to Focus on Crestview. I'm Karen Hardell, President of the Crestview Area Chamber of Commerce, and with me for this last segment to talk about what's going on in the community is not Dennis Mitchell, but the lovely Alicia Booker. Alicia is Community Programs Coordinator with North Okaloosa Medical Center. Also a very dedicated and active chamber member and this year's chairperson for the Triple B Barbecue. So, December was kind of a quiet month. What was going on last month?
Well, in December, like you said, it was a little quiet, but last month we did have one ribbon cutting, and that was with Style Mint. And our December after hours was with Hooters, and we had a pretty good turnout with that and a lot of good wings there. So closing out December with just a few things there.
Okay, very good. And Style Mint is a clothing store that's located across from FAMU downtown. So be sure to stop by and see them. And this coming month, in January, we have an after hours plan?
Yes, January 10th, we do have the after hours. It's going to be the same day as the breakfast, so we want to remember that. But Bel Air Terrace is going to be doing the after hours, and they have a 20s theme. So that's something that's a little different. I'm excited about that.
That's right. It should be a roaring good time.
Yes.
All right, and then the big thing that we've got coming up is what you're deeply involved in, and that is the Triple B Barbecue. So what date is that?
The Triple B this year is going to be April the 6th, Saturday, April 6th from 10 to 6, and it's going to be in lovely downtown Crestview.
Oh, terrific. It's a wonderful place to have it. We just closed up Main Street, and last year the Florida Lottery said we had over 10,000 people attending, and I'm hoping it's going to be even bigger and better this year. And this is the 9th annual Triple B Barbecue, and Triple B stands for Blackwater, Bluegrass, and Barbecue. So we're going to have music, it's going to be near the Blackwater River, and we're going to have the best barbecue that you can get. And this is a family-friendly event, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a great time to bring the kids out and to have the grandparents, because a lot of the activities that we have at the Triple B are geared towards family. So we'll have a lot of good music, a lot of bluegrass music. We'll have children's activities, so they'll be able to have fun and just a good event for the day.
So there you can participate by coming out and eating some really good food and visiting all of the vendors who will be out there on Main Street and all of the children's activities. Or you can, if you're great at making barbecue, you have a secret family recipe for barbecue sauce. There's a prize for the best barbecue sauce, I think. Or if you want to go whole hog and cook that day, then there's still room to have an entry, right?
Yes, there is still time for you to join as a vendor. The vendor applications are available on the Chamber website, or you can stop by the Chamber and pick up a vendor application. So we are accepting vendors and we're accepting sponsors. And just as Karen mentioned, if you want to participate as a vendor, you don't have to just be a food vendor. You can participate and provide information, or if you have clothing or anything just to promote your business. So it's not just the food. We had well over 100 vendors participating last year, and it was just a great way for the businesses in the Crestview area to come in contact with a lot of different people, especially when we have people that come in not just from the Crestview areas, but our neighboring cities as well, Karen. So it's not just a Crestview event. We have people from all over.
We have, it's become quite a regional event, really.
Yes.
People drawing in from the southeast, they like to come down and eat our, eat our lovely food and see what we have to offer here. So we already have some sponsors, and I want to make sure you get an opportunity to mention them, because they are what makes this event possible for our community.
Yes, this year, Karen, it is the Triple B, brought to you by Cox Communications. Cox is actually our title sponsor this year, and we're so happy about that. And we also have a couple of platinum sponsors already. Our platinum sponsors are the Florida Lottery and CenturyLink.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, terrific. And if they want to participate, they can go to the Chamber website, or we have a Facebook page set up for the Triple B barbecue. They can come to the Chamber breakfast and find out, or they can call the Chamber office and find out how to participate.
Exactly.
And, I want to thank you, Alicia, for standing in for Dennis and for sharing this information with us. And you've been watching Focus on Crestview, a production of Cox Communications and the Crestview Area Chamber of Commerce.